Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. Week 2, Semester 2, the year 2023. We're on here again, Sports Extra Uncut. We got a nice couple of faces, a voice you're going to be hearing. No camera on him, but it's all right. We got Joseph the Lawn Mower, Gavin the Chef Cook right here with him. Say what up, everybody.
What's happening?
Can't see this man, but it's Brayden from Sycamore
on the
Video.
ones and twos.
Yeah, he's back there chilling.
Brayden from Sycamore Video. And, yeah, there's no camera. Gavin, don't be rude. I am handsome. People just don't see it.
I can definitely confirm.
Thank you, Joe.
That's facts.
Thank you, Coby.
Of course, I am the Coby Clark. And Joe, man, Gavin, Brayden, we got a lot to be talking about here today. A crazy week 1 of recap for the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, show what shirt you're wearing.
It's pretty blatant. I'm wearing my Vikings shirt. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm just,
I like
hey,
it.
man.
I like it.
What?
Hey, I have some
happened?
thoughts. Hey,
You know,
I have thoughts.
I can believe it. I can 100% believe that.
I have thoughts about the whole first round, not even just the Vikings game.
That's what I like
let's
to
be real
freaking
here.
hear, Gavin.
Let's be real here.
Yeah, but this was a fantastic first round. I mean,
I
so
agree.
much happened.
So much happened, in terms of surprise and stuff. I was kind of scared going into this wild card, just thinking that, it's going to go, where we kind of think it's going to land.
Right.
And, that's kind of where, my predictions were going to be. But, I'm very happily surprised with how they turned out. Really entertaining games.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
Really cool storylines coming out. I'm excited to get into it.
This is kind of the part of the NFL season where you, a Colts fan, me, a Saints fan, we're not, too much worried about it anymore. We've had the week to die down. Our season's over. Now we can kind of just enjoy the football.
Enjoy football, for sure. Facts.
And, I mean, sometimes you're rooting for particular teams. Other times you're rooting against this team. I'm just here to see some good football. But it should be a lot of fun. We got to recap this real quick, talk about what we got going on. And last week, me and Joe did take the predictions of I recorded them, of who we had picking. And I will have to say I took the dub on that one.
Yeah. You didn't have to rub it in, though.
I'm sorry.
I saw that Snapchat message, and I knew
That's
it was
just
going
that's just Coby.
Yeah, my goodness.
That's just Coby.
To go in order, I guess we'll start with the NFC, and then we'll head on to the AFC games, and then we'll target what we got going on this week in the NFL Divisional Round. First things off, San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. One game in particular, going into it, one-sided affair, but it was very interesting going into that one because Seattle actually made a game out of it. I didn't think Seattle really had a whole lot of a good shot in that particular matchup against San Francisco, but the 49ers still somehow, some way came out on top.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I honestly had no faith in the Seahawks.
No faith?
I wouldn't say no
and
faith.
I say this without me trying to sound rude to them. I genuinely looking at it. The 49ers are not the same team that they have been for the past couple seasons, and it's just been blatant this whole season. While they haven't been, going off or going crazy or anything, but, they were ranked second, And so, I mean, you can tell just blatantly it's a different team. And so going into this, the Seahawks didn't seem prepared either. Getting beat 25-6 in the second half, only getting one single touchdown.
But that first half was special.
The first half was good.
It really had.
The game started good, but, you could see, the Seahawks, were just wearing down quickly.
Yeah.
Even if they were prepared.
That's what happens when you play a difficult defense like the Niners have.
Yeah. Because, even if, they were fully prepared, it's like they were using everything in their tank and just gassed way too early.
Yeah, I feel like this was, I agree. I didn't think there was too much of a competition there, going into it. I thought this was a really good, foundation for, the 49ers, the rest of their postseason run.
Yeah.
Just because, the Seahawks are actually a decent team. They're a very solid team all around. Definitely one of, if not the big surprises out of this NFL season.
Yeah.
Going into it, Geno Smith just having a fantastic, almost breakout season at the age of 30-something. And then, having, such a good draft class on both sides of the ball. Just fantastic overall season. I kind of put them in that category of they're just happy to be here last week. And, again, this was just a really solid, showing from them, at least in the first half. But, I just feel like, the 49ers, they were just kind of in a different tier of, teams, and they just kind of got outclassed them in the second and just took care of business. But if I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm not mad. I think I'm pretty happy at the end of the season.
Oh, easily.
Oh, yeah. I agree. They had a good season.
Yeah.
Brayden, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, besides Brock Purdy being a dog, I mean, they just made pretty good additions midway through the season with getting Christian McCaffrey, and they haven't stopped since then. So, I mean, it's looking good for the 49ers. I'm not making any blasphemous statements if I think they could potentially go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't believe that that's blasphemous at all.
No.
So, I got the Niners for the one team going at least is the Niners.
I think personally, I have the Niners beating out everyone in the NFC as I just knocked down my chair with my foot. I think the Niners, I think they're just a special team all around. Sure, everyone has the idea of, how far can Brock Purdy take them? I think that he's taken them pretty far at this point already, and the fact that he can still and continue to play at this high of a level. Now, it can't be said with all the weapons around him. That's what's making him. But without him, I don't really think this team can do a whole lot better.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're doing a pretty good job.
That makes complete sense. I get it. Because, I mean, looking at the Seahawks team, like on paper, this game should have been a lot closer.
A little bit.
And so the 49ers have done what they've done this whole season, which is like, at least for lack of better words, like surprise a lot of people because they're performing so well and like as a unit too. Like they don't have like one single superstar that you feel like is carrying them.
Right.
Because, the Seahawks they got tons of great players, but you really only hear the big names, specifically like DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
And so the 49ers just playing as one giant unit is honestly impressive. So I see them, if not going to the Super Bowl, I see them at least making another big statement.
Easily.
Even if they lose.
NFC is kind of, it's the Giants. We'll get into it. Giants, Eagles, Cowboys, and now the Niners. And if you ask me, I don't see an NFC East team making it. I really do see the Niners, but we can get into that a little bit, Joe. I know you're heated over there.
All right.
I know you're heated.
Let's not get too,
I got you.
Bit too early to make Joe mad.
Joe Shiesty.
One of the better games of Super Wildcard Weekend in the NFL. Minnesota and the New York Football Giants. All hail the New York Giants.
All hail the New York
All
Giants.
hail the New York Giants.
Yeah, thank you.
You're right. I need to have more energy in that one. All hail the New York Giants.
Exactly.
Okay, solid. Better.
Thank you.
Improvement.
The Vikings fan in the room. Take us through it, man. How are you feeling?
I mean, I'm not as upset as I was. Like, I was upset, obviously, like, when it happened because, you're watching the game and you point out mistakes.
Right.
And you're like, come on. Like, it's because a lot of it was, it's not even that they played that much better. It's not like they had one game plan that just shut the Vikings completely out. It was a lot for both teams, actually. It was a lot of like they were playing against themselves.
A little bit.
You should be more upset. I'm sorry to cut you off. You should be upset. He threw the last ball 3 yards on a 4th and 8. I mean, you should be upset. Everybody should be upset.
I was upset
as
about
a
that.
Vikings fan.
No. Listen here. As a true Vikings fan who's been here and seen them go through their worst seasons and still stayed a fan, I'm used to them being bad. So for them,
I get that.
So for them, so like for them, like
respect.
playing well for a whole season and then like still kind of faltering off towards the end going into the playoffs, I expected the Giants to win, just like in like the back of my mind, like a subconscious thought.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like I knew it was going to be a decent game, which it was, and it's pretty much plain and simple. Kirk Cousins needs to learn how to not rely on one player, and you can see that week by week. If you go and recap each game that they've had, he'll have like one player that he like tries to connect with the whole game, but he needs to work on connecting with everyone he can.
Right.
Because the minute they got the minute they got Hawkinson,
Yeah.
he was only throwing to him, and he's good, and he did
that.
well, and it helped them for a little while.
Yeah.
But then teams caught on to that and shut him down. And then he had back to Justin. And then they shut him down. So back to Dalvin, back to Thielen, Whereas all of those players are great, Like, I think Dalvin Cook's still in the top 20 of, like, most yards gained in a season. But unfortunately, because he tries to just force things onto Dalvin, he's also the number one most yards lost player in the league right now.
Osborne, another name that was very consistent towards the later
He
end
came
of the
through.
season.
He came through. And that game alone should have shown it. Our best plays were made by Osborne.
Mhm.
Like the big yardage plays. And it's
two catches for 20 yards, both of them 10 yards apiece.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those
like they were
big plays.
Yeah, and like one of them was a great third down conversion. And so, like I said, it's a lot of them beating themselves, but then on top of it, they couldn't stop Saquon.
Right.
And they have a good defense too. That just shows how good Saquon is. Like I was talking to my roommate, and he straight up looked at me and goes, "Saquon." Because
thank you.
He is the most all-rounded player I've seen so far in the playoffs. Because like even big plays that he wasn't like holding the ball, he still helped to make happen.
Oh, easily.
Like every time Daniel Jones took off, you can see Saquon making a huge block to open up an extra lane for him to run through, and we just couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop him from making blocks. We couldn't stop him from running the ball well. And so I think that's what a lot of it was. But it was still a great game. Both teams played very well.
Yeah, I would have to agree. With this Giants team, when I was doing a little bit of research going into the wild card, and just watching the Giants play throughout this season, I was just constantly surprised. And just how they played, how their offense, how their defense is run. Because this is a team that doesn't really have a true wide receiver number one. Obviously, Darius Slayton has, kind of emerged a little bit as someone.
Emerged,
like, quote unquote.
Did you see that missed catch he had?
Yeah, at the end, that would have ended the game. Yes,
Hey,
I
that
saw
happens to the best
and
of
that
us.
happens to the best of them. But, like, at the same time, he did make those catches that resulted in points on the board.
Facts.
That, and those are really the catches that truly, truly matter, especially when you have a defense like the Giants. Of course, that's all, like, thinking retrospectively because, if they would have lost this game, if Justin Jefferson had a crazy catch in the end zone at, the last drive, then it would be a different story. But still made the catches that really, really mattered that won the game.
Very true.
But still, I don't, without the wide receiver one that they probably should have, and I still am a firm believer that Odell should have re-signed with this team. But, like, without that wide receiver, Daniel Jones has been amazing this season.
He has.
In
He really
comparison to, like, how he played over, the last 2-3 years. Like I was saying last cast, each season he's improved.
Right.
He's took that step. He's really worked on his game. And I just love seeing that. A lot of people kind of, wrote him off after his rookie
Exactly.
debut.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, he's not the guy. Got to go draft somebody else. Just let these guys develop.
There's not that many
it takes
rookies
a
in
good-
general that take off.
It takes one
Exactly.
good guy to come in that locker room and fully just have your guys back, and that was what Brian
Exactly.
Dable is to this football team.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is, like, and then you have, like, this is just a team that I just think is what a healthy, I guess, rebuild, I should say, but, like, just kind of just healthy progression of an
Right.
NFL team. So
Oh,
where,
yeah.
like, they're not just going to, like, throw Saquon under the bus because, okay, he had, like, a few injuries in the past. We saw what he did when he was healthy.
Yeah.
At least give him a chance. They didn't, like, freak out and then just draft the quarterback in the first,
Yeah.
second round.
Mhm.
Running back in the first, second round. They just, kept with him, gave him a shot, made sure, knew that he was special and then kept with him after so many people wrote him off. So, I think this is just a fantastic story. I wasn't really surprised that the Giants won this game just because the Giants has been playing really good football together this entire season.
Yeah.
But, again, just, shout out to the Giants and
Yeah.
stuff. I think it's the Vikings. There's a couple of takeaways, but, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's
I
just
feel
Kirk
you.
Cousins. I really don't know. Sometimes it's just kind of like,
Yeah, because like I knew if it was going to be a close game, the Vikings weren't going to pull off another close game against them.
Yeah.
They learned from the last game, and the
true.
Vikings are a fourth quarter team, and so the Giants did excellent on capitalizing on that. It's really funny. Originally, I thought Daniel Jones and Mac Jones were related just off the name, and I like did some research because I was like, man, if they're related, this is gonna be like another Eli and Peyton situation.
That's a
blew my mind.
disgusting.
Oh,
Mac
no.
Jones and
I'm glad. I mean, hey, I'm glad they're not related because looking back, that would have been gross. But
Yeah, I couldn't have got that out of me.
yeah, exactly.
I'm a firm believer. I like Mac Jones. I will say that.
no.
I got his
like
back.
you.
I like both the Jones boys, man.
I like one of them.
You,
You don't like Mac?
is it not?
Not a fan of Mac.
No, here's my thing.
Wow.
I think Mac has
Not a fan.
potential, but because he's on the Patriots, everyone's
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, Tom Brady Jr."
Okay,
But
yeah, that too. And it's just like Mac Jones. I just don't see like. do I see him doing really like leading a significant team to the playoffs? Without like. A Belichick and like that. Is that like?
I feel like
really
I could
because I just feel like the Patriots are such a system team to where like they're just always going to be competitive no matter who's on the roster.
Yeah.
So like, how much of that is Mac Jones and how much of that is just the Patriots being the Patriots? And I just never like. I never like had like a moment where it was like, dang, Mac Jones, this guy. You know what I mean? I just never.
The
really
fact that
had
he was
way.
out there, he cared. He wanted to win. He wanted to compete.
Yeah, shout out to him.
He had Matt Patricia as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And they were still in it the last week of the season.
Come on, man. Let me quote Joe the Lawnmower here. Let him grow. Let him
Fair.
grow.
Yeah.
Give him a chance.
Fair.
You hater.
Yeah, I am. I am 100% have my hater cap on right now. It's the Patriots. I'm supposed to. Come on now.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah.
Probably the most hated team.
Yeah, okay.
No.
The last thing about this game is I'm not necessarily surprised that the Giants won, but there's just still this little shock to me that, oh, wow, the Giants won,
That's true.
Yeah. It was more of the shock that they were just dominating
A little
than
bit.
it was them actually winning. Because, like, even though I expected them to win, I thought the Vikings would make it a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, they just kept beating themselves. Like, the reason why the game is so close is not because the Giants, like, let up or the Vikings really turned it up. It's because the Giants made small errors.
Right.
Like Slayton dropping that wide-open pass that probably would have at least been taken to the end zone or at least to the red zone because it was wide open and he had a lane right off the bat. And it was just little things like that honestly, the Vikings got lucky that they didn't get beat by worse.
Probably.
Fair.
Brayden, you have any thoughts on this game?
No, I said my piece at the beginning. I'm still upset. I'm upset as someone that's not even a true diehard Vikings fan, just because my brother is a Bills or not a Bills fan. My brother is a Giants fan, and I just hate when he's happy. So I really I wanted them to lose.
Hey, brotherly love, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, family's more than blood, so like,
yeah.
why not?
Going into the next NFC NFC
Whoa.
game from the Super Wildcard Round. Funny that you mentioned family because this one team is everyone in my family is a fan of, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow.
Wow.
That's pretty much the word to describe this game because it wasn't. There was still this like little bit of, I feel, one-sided because you're like, oh wow, Tom Brady. I mean, it's Tom Brady. He's got a chance, but as soon as Dak and them all hit the offense, it really wasn't even close. I mean, Tampa Bay just couldn't keep up with them. The defense looked sour. They just looked weak, and the offense just prevailed at most times.
You would honestly, going into this game, off that first Dallas possession, you would have thought that the Buccaneers had like a whole rookie defense.
Oh, I promise you.
Like, because like
ugly.
they looked confused, they looked tired after 3 drives. Like they looked worn out halfway through the game before they even got to do that much to begin with. Right. And that's the one part that surprised me is how well the offense played, and then this game could have been a lot worse had the special teams played a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't know how you missed 4 straight.
crazy.
Like at that point, you gotta be like just praying, like,
I feel bad for
thank
him.
goodness we're already winning.
What's worse,
Man.
4 missed field goals or the double doink?
Oh, okay. I thought you were
Definitely
going
the double doink.
Yeah.
Are
Double
you?
doink.
Are you?
Double doink's tough.
Come on.
I mean, they still missed. I mean, they won though.
I mean, yeah, that's
if that
true.
would have mattered,
That's got a point. That's good. Good point.
in
Good
the
point.
conclusion
Yep.
of the
Nope.
game.
Double doink. Yep.
Yeah,
That's true.
Dou-
There
double
Yep.
doink
Answered
ended
my
the season
question
right
real
there.
because
quick.
like
Yeah.
at least
Ended
with
his
the-
career, I think. Does he play anymore?
Cody
Parkey?
I
Does
think
he
he was
play?
on the Browns for a little bit after that.
Was keyword.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now. He's probably
Exactly.
doing real estate. Or
I don't know.
something.
I remember when
so.
the Vikings.
I have
Fired,
no clue.
I remember when the Vikings fired Blair Walsh because he missed a game-winning field goal once.
Yep.
They got rid of him instantly, and I was just like,
Wasn't that the Seahawks?
That's
Yep.
true.
what
I
it
don't
was.
blame him. That's what you want job. You got to hit that.
Dude,
okay, but also like the kickers.
yes, I understand.
Kickers have the most stressful and the most like superstitious job in the NFL. Like I get it, their job like in essence isn't that hard, but like this guy shouldn't get fired because they're already winning.
Oh, he's
May-
not. I mean,
maybe
you're not
he-
gonna cut him now.
At least not yet,
exactly.
But also, no one should really ride them that hard because they're already winning. But like, if it was closer on the line, I feel like I would have a little bit more sympathy for this guy rather than
It just blows my
a
mind.
game-winning field goal.
Fair.
Whereas these are just simple PATs
Yeah.
that are 15 yards away.
This dude's been knocking down kicks
All
all season
season.
long from like
Exactly.
50 to 60, but he can't make 4 PAT attempts.
Yeah,
I-
and maybe
I
it's
need-
a short range
yeah.
thing. Maybe he's farsighted.
Exactly.
He could be.
Hey, listen, I need somebody to pull the cameras and the tapes from like some of the bars because there's no way he had to have something go on. He had party last night or something. Like, you know what I mean? He went.
We're in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. He pulled a Lou Will or something. Went and got some wings or something. Had to because
Walking
ain't
up
no
to
way.
shout out.
He's walking
Ford
up
is
to
crazy.
people going,
Exactly.
"I'm a kicker, so I can party.
Yeah, exactly. So we having a good
My
time.
job's gonna be easy tomorrow."
Yeah, exactly.
It blew,
crazy.
it blew my mind when I saw 3, and then 2 minutes later I saw the
4.
notification for 4. I was like,
Oh,
"You're
my
kidding me
stomach.
right now!"
Oh, dude.
Oh man.
Regardless of whatever happens to Brett Maher
Man.
after this, the fact that Tom Brady and this Bucs team did not do what everyone thought they could do. Oh, the Bucs can make the Super Bowl. You are mistaken. They were
Gave up
never
his
going to
family.
sniff
Yeah, I'm
that thing.
glad.
Gave up his family for this.
Yeah.
People forget. People forget.
People do not forget.
We were just talking about this earlier. I didn't forget.
Some people. I just had to remind some people because they might have forgotten. Man, gave
Yeah.
up his family.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Hey, I respect it. You know what I mean?
Not
He-
to be
he
knocked
literally-
out in a wild card game.
Right.
I mean, maybe win a Super Bowl. I respect it.
Like, I don't know what was happening. He like spent like a few months with his family. It was just like I gotta go back to ball,
Yeah.
man.
I
couldn't
can't do this
no more.
anymore.
And now he
Can't
might go
do this
back.
anymore.
I think honestly Brady will come back, but I don't see him going back to Tampa.
He's going to the Raiders.
I can see the Raiders, maybe the
The
Niners.
Please,
Definitely
I
not the
hope-
Colts.
I hope not.
Do you know how
Oh.
fried that would be?
Definitely.
Oh,
not.
I'd pee my pants.
Hey, man.
My-
The
Some
Raiders
of-
make sense,
Oh.
but like I don't know if the Raiders can give him enough what he needs.
Oh man, I'm just glad this happened. Honestly,
Yeah.
like normally I don't hate Tom Brady just to do it, but right now I'm hating Tom Brady just to do it.
Oh no, yeah.
Because growing up, my cousin was always the biggest Vikings fan, or not Vikings, Patriots fan, and I was a Vikings fan. He made life miserable having Tom Brady be good.
Yep.
And so, like, he's still a Patriots fan technically, but, like, he still loves Tom Brady also. So he sends me a Snapchat of him wearing his, like, custom Tom Brady jersey with his wife on the couch. And I'm like, watch them lose. And then I text him later, and he's probably crying.
What happened?
Like, he was like, I don't even know, man. I'm like,
What happened?
sorry, guy.
For the other team in this scenario, whoa, I just
Scenario.
made 2 words back to back.
Man, I
Ugh,
hate it.
I like you like that.
I hate it when my scenarios just fall through.
It actually
Man.
sounds like a real word.
Yeah, man, you're a scholar.
Thank you.
Truly.
That's why I go to Indiana State. I love it here.
We breed champions.
Truly.
Facts.
Facts.
That's why we have so
Bird.
many awards on the wall.
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Yeah.
Third
talk
floor
to him.
riser.
Call out meeting.
Exactly.
This Thursday.
Thursday,
7 p.m.
p.m.
Be there.
This room.
Not this room, but
This exact room
out
right
that
here.
door to the left. Somewhere. You might get a tour.
This
I don't know.
exact room right here.
We're all cramming in.
Game
Exactly.
time.
Man,
But
close and personal.
the Cowboys, I think they proved a lot, and I really had high hopes going into the season for this team. And now that everyone's kind of healthy,
Mm-hmm.
everyone can just relax a little and
Yeah, they
maybe
can-
back off the Cowboy slander.
No.
No.
I think the
Never.
Cowboys.
This is just
they
more-
are losing
I don't
next
know.
game.
I don't know if they're going to beat the Niners,
Hey, listen.
but it's possible.
The game's over. I'm done holding back my slander.
I wouldn't be surprised. If
I
Dallas
complimented them enough. I'm going back to
Exactly.
being the biggest Cowboys hater just to do it.
made it. I feel you.
What I said last week.
Why
I
are
said,
they America's team? Just because they're in Texas? Nah.
Man.
I'd rather the Bengals be
Didn't
America's
Texas
team.
want
Joe
to secede like 2 months ago or something like that? So I mean, why are they still America's team? Get
Yeah,
them out
like-
of here.
Nah,
I
don't know,
would
man.
rather Jacksonville. In the,
That's
I don't
such a
think
random-
that
in
would.
the
We
dankest part of
need
Florida.
The Washington Commanders to
Okay,
be
you're going too
our
far. Too far.
America's
Too far.
team because
Oh,
I mean
no.
the Commanders,
I wouldn't want-
Washington.
no.
I mean, think about it.
I mean, it
I
makes
think
sense.
Jeff Saturday should just start a team and call them the Saturdays, and then they can be America's team.
No,
Fair, very fair.
That's the boys' team.
he doesn't get to do what he wants.
Thank you. Saturdays are for the boys.
Yeah,
okay.
that's good. I'll
Good
give you
job.
that one.
Thank you.
Can we go to the next game?
We can.
Before
AFC time,
Brayden says
baby.
Commanders again.
We got three more games to recap from the first round just a couple of days ago. Buffalo and Miami. If I'm Buffalo, I'm low-key maybe a little scared because you almost lost to a third-string quarterback, and the Dolphins did not play a good game. Buffalo, they should not be excited about what's coming for them. They need to improve, and I hope that happens. They're looking not the cleanest.
If you root against Buffalo at this point of the season and you don't have a team in, you're just a bad person.
I feel that because I just feel like what's the reason? Because like I understand like the Buffalo Bills have not like met expectations to where they were before the season started.
Yeah. But they haven't undershot by that much.
They and plus they have like kind of the wind under their sails when it comes to DeMar Hamlin and like what's going on with him.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have kind of like a reason now. They have that extra purpose going into the playoffs.
Didn't they lose like 3 in a row in the 90s or something like that? Like
they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row.
4 Super Bowls in a row.
Twice to Dallas, 1 to Philly.
Exactly.
One to New
So
York.
I mean, they deserve.
Which is ironic because all 3 of them are in the
So
playoffs.
I think the Bills deserve their flowers. They deserve their flowers.
Josh Allen deserves it.
Comparative, typical shut-ins host here gonna compare in a way. The Bills this season have been set up like a Marvel movie that is like super hyped, but just like barely missed expectations.
Will be a good example.
Like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
I love that movie.
I love it too, but critically, they're like, it's not bad.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be groundbreaking.
Yeah, they thought it was good.
I mean?
They're like,
not like Spider-Man.
They're like Sam Raimi and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Possibly.
What?
I love that.
Exactly.
Hey, we love Benedict's here.
No, I love him.
Yeah,
Except for Arnold, we don't like him.
Who's Arnold?
Do I want to touch that?
He's a traitor. Benedict Arnold, traitor.
Oh,
I mean, y'all didn't pay attention to U.S. history, and it shows.
Oh yeah, during the Revolution.
I did not.
Oh, dude, you know why I remember who he was?
Who is that?
I got in
Because of,
college.
Like
I didn't need to pay
that
attention
old
to that.
'90s like Patriots cartoon.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger doing like the voice for him, and I remember
Benedict
that.
Arnold.
I don't know.
He was French.
He was French, dog. Oh my gosh! Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
But yeah, like I
Back
don't.
to present
But yeah,
times.
the Bills. Like going into this, I had high hopes for the Bills, but also like part of me was kind of hoping, like was like partially rooting for Miami also, just because like they've had a great year, and even overcoming what they've went through has just been crazy to me.
They didn't have
Like-
a player die on the field.
Well, Tua almost did.
He didn't die
Yeah.
on the field though.
Yeah, I mean,
Still,
He was breathing the whole time.
bro.
no, but still, like
I know. I'm
Going-
not trying to
Yeah,
compare
exactly.
two.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
trying to
know what
compare
you're talking
about. No, but, like,
catastrophic injuries.
going through
I'm
like
just-
the
I'm just
Tua
joking.
situation, like they looked bad. Like
It was
the next
real
what
bad.
3-4 games, like it was scary looking for the team because they were doing so well. But it's like they randomly just got their second wind, and they really ended the season on a high note,
Right.
and probably the highest note I've seen for Miami in the longest time, since I've been alive. I don't remember Miami ever like being good.
I respect that.
And so,
I
like,
respect that.
They've been very mid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
man.
never terrible, but never great either. They were always just that
their
one
quarterback
team.
was Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, they were just that team that was there. Just, I'm here so I don't get fined. You know,
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
just in the league so we don't get cut.
Oh my god.
But like Joe was saying, like the Bills, while they didn't perform as we all wanted them to, I don't think it was really that underwhelming. It was just slightly like, you had a chance to do great. And then this game is just the epitome of that. This whole game, I'm just like, what are you doing?
I feel that. It's just kind of like, Josh Allen hasn't been playing as like, because like it felt like last season he was an immortal. Like, he was a demigod.
A little bit. He
It's-
started off the season last way too, though.
exactly, and he was like one of those MVP candidates. And then
It's like
just
Russ
kinda,
before
yeah,
everything.
That's just that's
Yeah.
another can of worms, Lord.
Let's ride.
Broncos country.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it's just, it just kind of like he just kind of fell off. There was like a lot of more inconsistencies with his play and a few more interceptions, and it was just a little rough in terms of like, the actual play from the quarterback position for the Bills. But, in general, they still grinding out those wins. They still, perform to an extent to where they're acceptable. But I think what they're going against in this Bengals team, this is going to be a game. I'm really excited to see this. I think it's going to be something special with this guy.
Oh, easily. I think this probably be the game of the week.
For me, yes.
All things considered, though, Miami, I hope Tua gets healthy. I hope he
sure.
can stay healthy.
Prayers off to
I
him.
hope the season goes well for him next year. Just take some time to recover, do your thing. You're already in Miami, but maybe you can go to Thailand. I don't know. Shout out to
What?
Kingsbury.
Hello.
Why does he got to go to Thailand for?
Just to chill.
Just chill
What's
in
in
Thailand.
Thailand?
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
don't think anyone's chilling in Thailand. Have you ever watched The Hangover Part 2?
That's a
It
good-
was
hey.
not chill in Thailand.
That's where Cliff went.
Well,
He wasn't chilling.
I don't think he was chilling. He's
Side
probably
note.
trying to get his finger back.
My biggest regret right now is not setting up the camera for Brayden
Man.
because I wanted everyone to see the little workout routine he just did.
I was doing Russell Wilson. I was doing some jumping jacks over here, and then I got some high knees going. Because I'm not feeling loose today.
You guys were deep
So-
in conversation, and all I see is homeboy working out in the next room.
I was waiting on someone to notice. I
And
thought
now-
Kobe was gonna notice it first.
Oh,
Now
I
I'm standing.
did.
Now
Didn't
I feel
say
like we're
anything.
on a Sports Center show because Brayden's in there standing, like pacing back and forth while he's on the
We need to
microphone. He's like,
stand now.
so
We need a green screen.
he's like, so here's why I think
have
Dak
one.
Prescott,
Oh, dude, let's get into
LeBron
it.
James,
All right,
LeBron
guys.
James, LeBron James.
We still
Exactly.
talking about this game right now.
We're talking about Cincinnati
we-
and Baltimore.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just you doing jumping jacks. That threw
let's
me off.
talk about it.
Oh,
We already talking about
Lamar's
it.
gone.
Ooh.
If I'm Lamar, I'm leaving. I don't
Yeah,
want. I
why
want my
wouldn't
money,
you?
and I don't think Baltimore will
Why
provide
wouldn't you
that
leave?
money.
Why would you stay?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's enough there.
I think he
for
should
him.
go to Buffalo.
No,
Kidding,
Oh,
kidding.
Lord.
Please don't take that.
Maybe
seriously.
as like a running back, he could
No.
go to Buffalo.
Maybe.
on a completely serious note, I'm kind of with you. Like, why leave?
I mean, for me, it's kind of like one. They gave up Hollywood Brown for what reason? I don't know.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that
was
was
just
redonkulous.
I 100% am like an advocate for just letting that connection. Whenever you have like a connection between like a real connection between like a wide receiver that could be seen as a really solid future one, and then like MVP level quarterback, you
Yeah.
let that foster a little
Oh,
bit longer
easily.
before you
Yeah.
just like pack them up and leave. But like and I understand where the Baltimore Ravens like front office is coming from in the negotiations, just because obviously injuries is a factor with Lamar Jackson a little bit, and just sometimes inconsistent play, here and there throughout the season. But this still is a quarterback, a real franchise quarterback. You don't want to just lose.
Oh no.
So
No, I get that.
He's an MVP. I really am one to be a fan of Lamar.
Yeah.
I think
I
he
mean-
can do a lot.
I don't dislike Lamar at all. I've always thought
Some
that
people do.
the only issues I've ever had with Lamar are sometimes I feel like he's just wasting the talent he has by not performing where he needs to be.
Mm.
But also, it's not just on him that when you put
No, I get
when you
that.
put superstars next to him, it's like they either try to overshadow his abilities,
Yeah.
or they try to undermine his abilities too
No, I
much.
get that.
They want him to carry it all, but he's the type of quarterback where yes, he can make huge plays on his own. Obviously, we've seen him rush before and score, tons of points, hundreds of
By
yards
himself.
at a
Yeah.
time by himself. But he also is one of those quarterbacks that play very well with
Easily.
other players very well. He's great with his receivers and his running backs. I mean, at least this season, I've seen more connection between him and his running backs.
Oh, and another fact is
They
he's just
seem a
such
little bit
good
more
leader,
in
too.
sync. Yes.
Oh, easily. He's
He's
so
such a good
vocal.
leader.
I
He
love
keeps them
his
in sync,
presence.
yet he obviously is the Ravens, right?
Yeah,
He's
a little bit.
Word.
the superstar. But yet he doesn't play that way anymore. And or I guess he never really played that way, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more tactical, I guess I should say. He doesn't play as aggressive, which
Yeah.
when you're playing tactical, that's fine, honestly. With the way he plays, he just needs more people around him to help connect with, because if it's just him and his running backs, they're not going to be able to keep having seasons like this where
Exactly.
they make it to the playoffs at all.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing about Lamar is because it feels like he's one of those players that shouldn't be thinking about, oh, the front office thinks about me this way, so I have to perform this type of way outside of
No.
my style. He's the type of player that you put players on the field that's going to make plays, help him make plays, and you just let him pin his ear backs and go.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You just, if you just let him make the call, let him lead his
He's a
team.
point guard for sure.
Exactly. He's a point guard. You just let him pin his ear back,
He's a
don't worry about
coach's
the noise,
dream.
and then just go. But like the front office just doing all this in his ear, and then he has to like.
I mean, they just paid
play
Roquan Smith $100 million.
Let him keep talking. Let him keep doing all this. Let him push him away, because my Bears got a number 1 draft pick. I would like to see what we could do with it.
Hey, man.
Maybe we could shop that around. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine?
Hey, man.
Could you say? I'm just saying. Could you imagine?
Hey, man.
You don't want Justin?
No, I'm saying I love Justin. I'm not a Justin Fields
Time
hater
out.
by any means.
This is just crazy.
Not a Justin Fields hater, but I love the idea of shopping around with him.
Hey, Brayden. Let me tell you something.
What's up, baby
Justin
boy?
Let me tell you something, Bubby.
What?
You're the number 1 draft pick. Grabbing Lamar is not going to fix the Bears' issues.
Oh, I know, but it
doesn't help it very much
That'd
either.
be the
I know,
worst
but
trade you ever
I
did.
would like a
To
Bears
quote-
jersey.
To quote
with
a
Lamar
really
Jackson. That's the only thing. Like I would just like a Lamar
Hey,
Bears.
just
Lamar
have to
Jackson-
make one.
LeBron Jackson probably looked fire in the Bears.
Like that's
If
all.
we
Like,
gonna be
if
honest,
we're gonna be real,
You
like
can
that
have
would
an-
look fire.
You can have an Eddie Jackson jersey. How
Okay,
about that?
Just custom make
okay.
one.
No,
Slap the number 8 and the word
No.
Jackson on the
Jackson.
jersey and
Just
call it
No.
make
a day.
no.
Let me tell you something real quick.
Tell you what I'm not gonna
No.
do. That. Am I 12 years old getting a custom jersey made? No,
Why do you have to be 12 for that?
You look
because
psychotic.
children do that.
No.
Yes,
No.
children and
ballers do it.
children and adults that think they're on the team.
If you're broke, just say that.
Yeah, I am poor.
You're telling me I don't play for the Saints?
I mean, you probably
I have
could play for
something
the
to do.
Saints,
I
honestly,
have
with
something
how
to
bad
do.
they did this season. Sorry.
I know he ain't talking.
Okay, time out.
Next
Time
topic.
out.
Next topic. Next
No,
topic.
time
Next
out.
topic.
For
Next
both
topic.
of you, before we cut off and act like nothing just happened, both you two right here, I want to hear zero Vikings slander.
I wasn't
until
gonna
the
give you
next
Vikings
season.
slander.
No, this is just because you're a Bears fan.
I like the Vikings.
This has nothing to do with
How
you personally.
can you?
No, listen. I want
One of my
zero
favorite
before the
comedians
next
is a
season.
Vikings fan.
I want zero slander because guess what? They
What?
made the playoffs.
Yeah,
You know who did
Then
it?
what you do?
The Saints didn't. Okay, what the Saints do?
We-
Not
hey,
even make
We
it.
barely made it with our third string quarterback, wide receivers, and D line.
Listen, if you don't stop, I'm gonna come over into that room. I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth. Stop disrespecting me, because
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you slander
Oh my gosh.
for the Vikings
I do.
after an amazing season.
I really don't want that to happen.
I know, but
Oh no!
I'm just
I
being.
would hate
I'm just
that.
being.
I would
I'm
hate that
just
so-
being honest.
I would hate that so much. But
goodness.
sorry, but back to the Justin.
Back to
you
football, man.
you saying that you love Justin Fields but want to shop around. Let me quote my close friend Joe the lawnmower here. Let him grow. Let him grow.
I never
some.
said we couldn't
know,
let him grow. I just
honestly-
like shopping. I like window shopping.
Can I
Then
say
go to
this
the mall,
whole
buddy.
time?
He's a
I
window
don't think
shopper.
we've spent a more than 2 seconds talking about the team that won. The Bengals.
They good.
It's Joe
I don't know
Shiesty.
We don't
yeah,
have to, what do we have to
exactly.
talk
Joe
about?
Burr.
It's Joe
Like,
Burr
they
and
nice.
I can't
Time
remember
out.
names right now.
Time out. Is Eli Apple still a starter?
I think
He shouldn't
Who?
be.
I know.
He shouldn't
He,
be.
he got hurt actually.
Who's Eli Apple?
Okay, I'm not gonna say good that he got hurt, but good he's not starting. I'm still mad at him for the Super Bowl, man.
I can respect that. I can definitely.
I'm still mad at him about. I was so mad at him that I have the NFL skin in Fortnite, and let me cook real quick. I made him look like Eli Apple, and I just loaded into games and let people kill me.
That's insane.
Not because I want him dead or anything, but like just because I was just angry at Eli Apple.
Well,
'Cause-
Bought the skin, paid actual.
I know I didn't
Oh
buy
my
it
God.
just to do that. I already had it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
okay,
buy
got
it just
you,
to
I
do
got
it.
Why'd you have
now,
Eli Apple
why
skin?
would you do it as Eli
There's no
Apple
Eli
instead
Apple
of like
skin. You
killer?
customize it to
Oh,
make.
so when you
You
buy
can change
one,
the jersey and number
Oh.
and team
Yeah,
stuff.
mine
I
was
didn't know that.
OJ for a while.
Yeah, I made a Mike Vick one.
This is absurd.
I had
He
OJ,
has
and
the dog-
then I
insane.
also
He has
had
the dog
Aaron
backpack
Hernandez.
Yeah, I got Henry Ruggs.
Ooh,
All right, Jacksonville and the Chargers. That is a great game that all of a sudden the Chargers, blew it. And I'm trying to change the subject because that just went on a whole tangent of its own. The Jacksonville Jaguars overcame a 27-point deficit against the Los Angeles Chargers. They fired their offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, and probably
Time
for
out.
good reason. No. Resume.
This is about this. This is about this. I
Okay.
promise. This is gonna be so dumb, but please don't call me dumb because I pay attention to the players in the games. That's it. Is Joe Lombardi related to Vince Lombardi? Are they related?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's
'cause
rigged if he wins a trophy.
No, here's the thing. Because
He just got fired.
Good.
I was gonna
As it
say,
should.
'cause I have never heard that name before, nor have I ever heard the fact that he had a kid. So I'm sitting here
I don't
going,
think it's his kid. I think it's his grandson.
I was about to say, that's sick.
I don't remember.
Hey, before we get started talking about the Jags
No.
Chargers, I do want to mention, because Trevor Lawrence, they won by a point, and Trevor Lawrence needs to just stop dressing like sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Hey, be
I
nice to
get
him.
it. I get it that you look like him, but like, dude, you don't have to like
Be nice
live
to
out
him.
that character. No, man. Did you
He
see
is the most unproblematic
He's
person
so
in the league right
unproblematic,
now,
but,
dude.
Man, do you see the video
Get
of him?
off his
You see
back.
the video of him going into a Waffle House? Why are you dressed like that? Why are you dressed
for
like
him.
that?
Because he's in Florida.
You're in.
He's
yeah,
in
exactly. He was
Florida.
wearing a long sleeve, bro. You're in Florida. It's humid.
He's in Florida going to a Waffle House. He's got to keep himself safe.
he had about 35 people with him. I think he was safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But okay,
For sure,
that's
for
all
sure,
I
for
had
sure.
to say.
Hey, if you're craving waffles at midnight, you know where to go. Trevor
That's what
Lawrence
I'm saying.
feels it.
If you
Yeah.
craving these hands at midnight, you just want to start
Facts.
some trouble.
Yeah. So let's
Hit him
get
up.
back into the
Yeah.
Chargers game.
Exactly.
The Chargers should be embarrassed after all this.
Yeah,
Everyone
bit.
was freaking out.
It was an
the fact
embarrassing
they
season
lost.
for
A
them.
little bit.
I
Um,
cannot believe the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert. I mean, Jacksonville.
Yeah, dude.
I took Jacksonville, and I'm
not
shocked. still.
surprised when
Yeah.
you took that pick. I didn't call you crazy because like the way that Jacksonville's been playing over the last couple of weeks, it just kind of like led up to this moment to where like it was just this case of a team that kind of peaked at the right time.
Yeah.
And then you have the Chargers who they just had like an up and down season. They thought they were going to come in and be like this really predominant
Yeah.
team in the kind of like the Bengals last year, to where they actually have this young quarterback that they can rally behind and like grind out some wins. But it just felt like just nothing really like clicked sometimes with the Chargers. It just
Yeah.
felt like sometimes they just kind of lacked energy. And
They felt
life,
like-
and they just kind of
While they had a great season for the most part, they felt like schoolyard ball all year.
yeah.
They
like
lack discipline.
it
Yeah.
felt like some plays they were just going crazy, and then other plays they were just quick toss,
Yeah.
run the ball out of bounds. But like
Yeah.
I have loved Jacksonville all year too. On top of that, like they've done phenomenal things, and like this game was very close. I don't think they'll be going to the Super Bowl,
Nah.
but this is still a statement.
That'd be insane.
This is still a
That'd be
statement
nutty.
that was made.
If it happened.
Yeah,
I mean, if it happens, like that's crazy.
If it happens, it happens. Like
Yeah, because I wanted them to win so badly, but I didn't think they would.
Yeah.
Because like, I love Jacksonville this year. Like their team is like it feels nice when you watch them play.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
like while obviously they're not the best team in the league right now, they're fun to watch.
Oh,
And-
easily.
And that's like my favorite.
ETN's so fun.
And that's
ETN's very fun to
exactly that's
watch,
my
yes.
favorite thing about football, especially this past season. This has been a weird season. We can all admit.
very.
It has been
It's the
everywhere.
weirdest season
Like
I've
the
ever
Vikings were
witnessed.
good. Even
Yeah.
me as a fan was surprised and kind of disappointed. I kind of missed getting hated
Like,
on all the time.
It was a weird season,
Oh,
especially
don't worry,
because
you can have it now.
it was very weird because it started off first game, the Bears beat the Packers. I was like, whoa, whoa, it's gonna be a good year. And then now we got the number one pick. But that's besides the point. So like I'm saying, it's been a very weird year, football wise.
and so like
You know what I'm
Jacksonville was
saying?
like a breath of fresh air
yeah,
because like
very.
out of a whole weird year, like great teams just randomly just performed awfully, and then you got teams that don't perform well ever that perform well, and Jacksonville just coming out of the woodwork because like
Word.
It's
Jacksonville
like
was always
2017 all over again.
yeah Jacksonville was always a team where you weren't ever like, oh, they suck.
Yeah.
But it was similar to how you look at other like we were talking about earlier, how you look at the Bills. You're not like, oh, they suck or oh, they're phenomenal. You look at Jacksonville and you're just like, they're there. You
Right.
know,
And
some
they kinda
for
have,
some
like, a
teams
rough
it's
shake
an
at
easy
it, too.
win. For other teams it's a difficult play. But this year it was a breath of fresh air watching them do what they're doing, and I mean I'm just still like shocked even after the game's been over for days now. Like I'm still just a little blown away
Little
by
bit.
it.
And like
I
that
think
takes a
Chargers
lot of
too.
mental
Mhm.
focus for sure for like a young team like Jacksonville to just kind of come in, notice that they're down 27 points, and being like, okay, let's just play football. You know what I mean? At that
Yeah.
point. And then they just focused. They played their game in the right way. And I think that's what's, the biggest takeaway from this is just the mental toughness that completely lacked when Urban Meyer was there. You know what I mean? That, that type of focus on the game and, knowing when to when, where, and how to get the most out of your players in that certain situation. So just shout out to Jacksonville again. I've always been a proponent ever since the Fred Taylor days with them that they just kind of had a rough shake at it in terms of, just their position in the NFL. And I feel like this could really be a squad that, takes Jacksonville into a new kind of category tier in the NFL to where they're actually competitive. They're not a team that you really want to see in the regular season or the postseason. They just kind of fight. They're really tooth and nail, very business oriented, and they're just gonna get it done.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut you guys off real quick. I do have to dip over to Sycamore Video because we got our weekly meeting.
Okay.
So I will be either back
We appreciate it,
Hey.
Brayden.
or I'll be back whenever you guys have me back because I enjoyed it. I had fun. You're going to put me on cam next time, and I'm going to dance around for everyone. When we're talking about Russ, maybe we'll be talking about the NBA next time. Who knows?
Facts.
We could be talking about anything. I might gritty in here. I might whip. I might nay. We might do a little bit of everything.
I don't think I like this game
But-
anymore.
Yeah, but I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for having me on,
No
guys.
problem, buddy.
Appreciate it.
We miss you already.
Thank you.
I miss you.
Alrighty, Brayden is out of here.
Later, Gator.
1 down, 3 to go. It's a 24-hour challenge.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
I'm
Well,
winning.
me and Joe actually gotta go. Anime club.
Anime have to.
Oh, really?
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get
I've-
into some
I've
of the
said
second round?
just about all I've had to say about the first round.
No, yeah. I think one more thing to talk about real quick is that I think Jacksonville is a team built for, years down to. I think Doug Peterson has done a phenomenal job his first season.
True.
Mhm.
True.
I think the direction for them is probably the best team in the AFC South for the next couple of years. And no one was thinking about that week 8, week 9, but all of a sudden they take that turn down the good lane, and here we are.
I think they got big things coming their way.
Exactly.
And this was just them showing up in the playoffs in general was a big way to show it. But winning the first game and going into the divisionals, this is a big statement. And I think this is kind of their way of saying hey, at least for the next 5 seasons, get used to us.
Right.
And I think even if they never make it to the Super Bowl, I think they're still going to be an issue to work with. They're going to be that one team that will show up and they will make you earn whatever it is you're trying to work for.
I feel that. Well, I think we're going to start with the NFC for our playoff predictions here in the divisional round. The first one we're going to start with is the number 1 seed Philadelphia Eagles taking on the 6th seed New York Football Giants. It's tough.
Hear me out.
I want to hear what you say.
Okay, so when the Vikings game was going on, I was obviously, like I said, I expected New York to win. So I was pretty in focus on how they were playing and what they could be doing.
Right.
And I was talking to my roommate about it, and I looked at him and I said, not even trying to overhype the Vikings at all. If the Giants win this game, I can see them going to the Super Bowl.
At that point, you kind of have to.
Because, like I said before, Saquon alone is, like I said, one of those players that can do everything, and he does. And he's not trying to be a superstar. He's not trying to overpower his way into a spotlight or anything like that. He's a well-rounded team player, and seeing him influence and lead other players on the field to do that, on top of Daniel Jones just being an all-around athlete on the field. He takes quarterbacking to a different level when it comes to him being in focus. He's a very smart player too. It's not even just him being athletic.
Student of the game.
There's a lot of things
Yeah.
you see him do that are 10 steps ahead of what you would normally think to do. And the commentators said that they would not stop talking about that too.
Yeah.
And that was how smart that Daniel was playing the whole game. And it makes sense. And so I can see them really just buckling down, getting through the mistakes that they made with the Vikings, licking their wounds and preparing for a tough game against the Eagles. But I can see them coming through and pulling it off.
Oh, absolutely. I think at this point, I'm at that point where the Giants, I wasn't fully on board, but now I'm kind of, I got one foot on. But I'm not going to say the Giants can do this. I don't think they can personally. I think the Eagles, they're going to have a fully healthy Jalen Hurts. I mean, their defense has just been on top of it. O-line has been impressive all season long. I mean, Miles Sanders had a resurrection this season. He's been a very, prominent number one back in the Eagles running game. So
Yeah.
I think at this point, I'm going to have to say Philly, but I'm not going to be surprised if the Giants do.
Yeah.
This is the matchup the Giants wanted. I think
Yeah.
you would rather played the Eagles besides the Niners or Cowboys.
I think, honestly, I think the Giants were prepared for this situation. I think they were thinking week 2.
Right.
So, going into it a little bit, if you think about, the last, 4 weeks of the regular season when it comes to the Eagles, it is you win against the Bears by 5 points.
Yeah.
On December 18th.
Mm-hmm.
You lose against the Cowboys. Again, this was Jalen Hurts was injured and everything.
Right.
You lose to the Cowboys, by 6 points on Christmas Eve.
Which is impressive, that only by 6.
Exactly. Yeah. But then you go into the Saints, lose by 10 points.
Boom, baby.
Then you lose, you win.
Where are the Saints at?
Dude, where are you at?
You win against the Giants, you know what I mean, the last regular season game of the season for you, 22-16. However, Jalen Hurts played like boo-boo. He 20 for 35, no TDs, 1 interception. I can't sit here and say that it is impossible for the Giants, to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, I'm going in the total opposite direction. And I'm saying I feel like the Giants are going to be able to win this game.
Wow.
Pull it out, 3 points. Oh, yeah, the New York Giants. I am for these guys right now.
Now, I think
I'll respect that, Joseph.
I think the main reason that we're thinking this is because they're hungry. The Eagles are getting to where they're full back, everyone's back to full health and whatnot. But I think the Giants are just hungrier.
Oh yeah, I'm on the band.
And I think the Eagles, their biggest thing is they're going to be a little bit complacent going into this, because that's another thing you've seen all season is sometimes they play how they're thinking, and sometimes they go into a game thinking, oh, we're number 1.
Yeah.
Or this isn't a conference game, it's just the Cowboys, or it's just the Saints.
It's kind of I don't think they really had throughout the season, except for the end where they didn't really get a chance or didn't respond. Throughout the season, they didn't really have any moment where they were just oh, we really need to get at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to bounce back from this moment.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like they had that, except for at the end of the season where it was just kind of butt game after butt game after butt game, where you're supposed to be, this top 5 power ranking type of team, and then you just, fall flat on your face, a few times, or you just underperform in general, but you may pull out the win. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like they haven't had much mojo. Of course, you have that, week to where you can chill a little bit, kind of understand the competition, but still, I just don't think a bye week helps you as much as we think it does. And especially when it comes to this Eagles team, I can 100% see either they're in their own head in a positive or a negative way. Facts. To where I just don't think they're going to be mentally prepared. Where I feel like the Giants, they've had trials and tribulation throughout the season, got a big win over a really talented team in the Vikings. I just feel like they just got the momentum on their side.
Which I know we're talking about NFC right now, but even looking at the Chiefs, how I see it is the number 1 teams don't feel like number 1 teams to me.
I respect that.
I get that.
Because I feel
I get that. They do to me, but the Eagles, they're a little weird. When
they won the Super Bowl, you felt the power that the Eagles had when they were dominating everything. And, that guy who got that giant tattoo on his arm and, just preparation, knowing that they're going to win somehow, you could feel that. But, here, which I think the Chiefs feel more like a number 1 team. I guess I kind of just dismissed them a little too hard right there. But
I get you.
The Eagles specifically, I don't feel even though numbers-wise, you see the 1st seed versus the 6th seed, and you're wow, powerhouse is about to tear them up. I don't feel that way when I look at it. When I look at it, I see the Giants and the Eagles, and I don't feel like the Eagles are overbearingly powerful right now. I
feel that.
I don't feel concerned for the Giants. Going into expectations, I expect the Eagles to really come out and play, but also I'm not ever going to count the Giants out. That's why I think they're going to pull through, is because they're not a team you should want to count out right now.
I'm just super impressed with how the Giants have been playing.
Exactly.
I'm kind of at the point where I want to see the Giants win, but I just still have to go with my gut and say the Eagles
I
win.
respect
Yeah.
that.
No,
I
and I
respect
get that.
It's hard. It's hard.
The Giants are a team that I want to see make a run. I think it'd be an insane story if they can be able to pull this off again.
Yeah. It's a tough situation, man.
So, at this point, I know I took Eagles, you took Giants, and you took who?
Giants.
You took so you both taking the Giants?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy, actually.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't want to see the team that beat their team succeed?
I understand that.
Yeah, facts.
I understand that.
Yeah. You know,
The NFC game, another one, Cowboys-Niners. Now, this is the kind of
It's gonna be a
game.
good game.
This is the bet.
this is the one that I
Oh!
feel like I'm more conflicted about than anything.
Yeah.
It's either Bengals-Bills or Cowboys-Niners for me
Yeah.
on which game's going to be the best of the week.
Yeah, both of these are both like very conflicting, very like two great teams facing off against another great team.
I see I'm going through this emotional roller coaster right now where I'm thinking, oh, man, the 49ers, they're going to do it. But if there's any defense that can scare Brock Purdy, it's this defense. I
Yeah.
promise you.
They mean.
I
They is
wholeheartedly agree with you there.
They have too much. I think Dak played so well, and the running game. Zeke in particular didn't do the best, but Pollard is where it stepped up.
Yeah.
Man, they have every weapon you could think of. Schultz has been showing up. CD, I mean, T.Y. He's been doing pretty good for them.
Yeah.
I know I want to say the Niners, but I'm going to have to take the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to have to.
I respect it.
I'm
I
riding
respect
with
it,
Dallas.
man.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, and it's kind of like I go
Cowboys
with.
Nation. Let's roll it.
It's a very like you're just conflicted the whole time.
That's what I'm feeling now.
You know, whenever I'm conflicted about like, can this player do this? Can this player do that? I look at what they did between the lines. I just look at what they've done on the field. Not
Yeah.
like, you know, the saying like, oh, he's just like, you know, this rookie quarterback that just kind of came out of nowhere and then just playing for, you know, a team that's struggled at that position injury-wise. And I'm just like, they can't go, you know, that quarterback can't go against, you know, a top whatever defense with,
Yeah.
you know, Micah Parsons, who I believe is, you know, one of the best defensive prospects that we've seen in a long time.
if not the best.
Man, and it just kind of, I sit back and I think, but if I look at what they've done between the lines, I can't count them out just because of that. I just can't.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
I can't.
And
do
that's
it.
how I feel about
He's
that way
played
also.
too well. The connection between him, Debo Samuel, you know, George Kittle, you know, and then you have obviously Christian freaking McCaffrey in the backfield. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the 49ers. I just
I get you.
I have to.
I get you.
I have to.
Quick question. If Jimmy G were to be healthy tomorrow, would you play Purdy or Garoppolo?
Purdy.
Okay, good answer.
I don't like Jimmy G. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like he's good for the squad, but I think, you know, based on what he did last postseason and stuff like that, he can.
I mean,
he gonna do the thing, but he's not gonna.
Well,
do
based
what
on
you
what
need
they've
to
been
get the thing
doing too,
done.
like we don't need
You know
them.
what I mean?
At this point,
They
yeah,
don't need
even if Lance was fully healthy, you're not putting Lance.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not.
putting Lance.
You're
I'm
putting
putting the person that's
Purdy.
been
You're gonna
playing
keep
well.
who's
Yeah.
been there and who has built this connection that you were just talking about.
Exactly.
How well connected they all are. They're moving as one big machine,
For sure.
and you're not gonna risk it by putting in Jimmy G just because he's been there longer or anything like
Yeah.
that. And see, that's where like I'm conflicted because as much as I like instinctually want to just be like 49ers.
Yeah.
You get stuck, and then similar to like what Coby says is like if they run into that defense that's really just pulling through, especially with how Dak's been playing, and like Zeke didn't play great, but I could really see him stepping up in this game specifically because I feel like more is on the line. Because I mean, as crazy as it was, the Cowboys seemed so nonchalant during that game against the Buccaneers, man. Like
Yeah, that's right.
like I feel like really the only person that was really just struggling and had the Bucks in their head rent free was the kicker. And like the rest of the time though, like they were playing hard and good, like they didn't really take plays off, but still like it felt like part of them was just like, yeah, we're here, we're doing it. Like,
I feel you.
Tom, where you at? And so like that's what makes me think that like if they play like that and then just buckle down even more, they could really give the 49ers a run for their money.
I feel you.
But
Exactly.
It's like
I'm so conflicted, man. So because like I don't know. From at least my experience from what I've seen, the biggest downfall of teams that I enjoy watching is when they don't play connected.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have to follow my gut and go with the team that is more well connected with each other, that being the 49ers. You know,
Okay.
watching my,
All right.
specifically, watching my favorite team collapse because they lost their connection midway through the season. They felt disconnected from each other. I got to go with the team that I know is well connected, and they've been moving as one giant machine, one heart, one pair of lungs.
I feel you.
I feel that. All right, that does it for the NFC. Last two games,
Word.
AFC, Jags, Chiefs. I really don't think
Chiefs.
Jags got it.
I'm taking the hard ball here. Jags.
Are you for real?
Go crazy.
I don't-
I like it. I like that energy.
I don't think they're going to win, but I want them to so badly.
That's what the Giants how I'm feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
You see,
But I'm
like,
still going
I
to be
don't
smart
think-
and pick the Eagles.
take knowledge and throw it out the window, because what we're saying technically doesn't matter.
Facts.
It doesn't matter what we say. I'm going with my heart here because
It's getting emotional.
clear mind, full heart, can't lose.
Bar.
So you
And my
want
full whole
All right.
heart opinion is that the Jags are going to pull something crazy off, because I don't even hate the Chiefs. I feel like I see. I
There's
feel
no
like,
way.
No, listen. I feel like I'm seeing the Chiefs get treated like the Patriots lately. Unless like I'm only I just so happen to be on like the hater side of Twitter or
A little
something.
bit. Have to be. I haven't I don't think the Chiefs have been like so too dominant. I feel like, these
I mean, they lost to the
Pat
Colts.
Mahomes like one
Yeah.
ring away from people really despising him.
Yeah, I see a lot of people
Yeah.
just giving Pat Mahomes the business for no reason. They're just like, yeah, this dude sucks. Go back with your bath bombs in that one State Farm commercial.
I think it's like a bit of a like overcorrection a little bit, because I feel like Pat Mahomes gets praised for like mistakes or like flashy plays a little bit too much, because it's like I remember when Daniel Jones did like you see like the pass fake and then he kind of like
Yeah, he did a
handed it
Statue of
off.
Liberty.
Yeah, like
I'll respect it.
tweet went
Back to
viral
Pee Wee
talking about,
football
like,
days.
Exactly. If Pat Mahomes did that, he would get like.
Oh, he would've
forced
gotten
or-
flamed
yeah,
instantly.
Exactly. But like I'm just saying like going forward, I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
I get that too, because like
Understandable.
the difference between Pat and Daniel though is Pat can pull those off,
Thanks.
and like, I hated that play when they ran it, not because they did it against the Vikings, but because it didn't work.
Fair.
Like you literally
I mean,
watch,
it's got a nice 4 yards, maybe 3.
Yeah.
if that, you literally watch the D end go, and just watch the whole time, and then just go okay, and just take off.
He shouldn't have ran up the middle.
No, he should have
Yeah,
taken that
yeah,
outside
for
and
sure.
cut up.
I agree.
No, but I'm gonna have to. I'm going to Jaguars full heartedly.
All right, I understand
Even though I don't dislike the Chiefs at all. I'm not being a hater. I love the Jaguars this year, man. Like they're doing big
I
things.
can't.
And
They're too young for me. They're way too young. There's no
Yeah.
experience there.
now,
I mean,
if
you
I
have
was like,
you have a head coach who's experienced, but he can only do so much from the sidelines.
yeah. Now, like if I was gambling or something, I wouldn't make that big of a pick, But like
I see you.
this is very emotions driven.
I feel that.
I feel
And I feel like I'm very connected to how the Jaguars are playing. Like I was talking about, 49ers, how they're all a connected team. My heart tells me they can outperform.
All right.
Here, I think the Jaguars are a big underdog pick.
I don't think that defense can keep up with Mahomes.
Fair.
There's no way.
It'll be a tough one
I
for
feel
sure. Even if they do pull through and win, it's not like they're gonna stomp them out or anything.
I agree.
Last game here for the NFL in the divisional round. Another conflicting tough one. The Cincinnati Bengals against the Buffalo Bills. Now, like I said previously, I think the Bills have a good shot at this. I think the Bills are prepared. Would it be nice if they had a healthy Von Miller? Absolutely. Who wouldn't want that? They just didn't show a whole lot last week. I feel like against that Dolphins team, they got in their head a little much. Their emotions were riding high.
Yeah.
But they still pulled out in the end. I think the Bengals have a good shot at redoing what they did last year. They could make it. The team is just
You think
there.
they could actually win it if they make it?
I think they could. It just depends
I think
who the
they-
matchup is.
I think they could have won it last year, but I feel like a lot of their issues in the Super Bowl alone was they were letting like the Rams get in their head.
A little bit.
Specifically, Aaron Donald.
Oh,
He had a great game. Don't get me wrong. Like he deserved to be like the Super Bowl MVP, but he didn't play that well to where the whole offensive line should have been scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in that game, I feel like that was the biggest issue, and I feel like that's the only thing that really could stand in the Bengals' way if they make it that far.
I feel that.
But also, I got love for Josh Allen, so
I got love for both these quarterbacks.
That's where I'm conflicted. Also, like, do I wear the shiesty and cheer for Joe Burrow,
Like George Pickens just.
or do I throw some Timbs on and bump some West Side Gun in honor of the Bills?
There you
know,
go.
like
there you go.
I'm
Crash through some
conflicted.
tables here.
Exactly. Like,
Depends. If the Bills win the Super Bowl,
I will
I'll break
say,
through a table. You heard it first.
you know, you guys are making very calculated choices. You know, you guys are doing some deeper dives.
Okay.
And, you know, I think the one thing that's been going well for me is emotionally deciding things. Just really letting my
Are
heart
you
take
just an
control here.
emotional person?
Yeah, I'm so emotional. Well, okay, I take calculated choices and things that, like, I have the confidence that I can be calculated about. Whereas football, I know the sport very well, yet the NFL has always proved me wrong.
Okay.
Word.
So, like, that's where I gotta let my heart choose things.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to go Bills Mafia.
Alrighty.
Fair.
I want a good like upset of playoffs.
I think this
want
is
the
gonna
season.
be so high scoring.
I want this season to continue to be crazy.
Whoops, I knocked you guys.
Ow, my head.
Yeah, come on, man.
Sorry, Joe.
Watch them hands.
Before I give my one pick, I just got to say one more thing. Like I said, I think the Bills, it really should have a little bit in that Miami game. I think the Bengals, I mean, they were a little against Ravens, but I think if there's one team to do it, I think it's the Bengals. So I'm gonna ride with Cincinnati.
I respect that.
Yeah, so I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, and I do think this team is the best AFC team. And I just been
Which is
like
who?
going back
We're not
and forth
talking about the
on
Jaguars anymore, Joe.
it. And I've been going
Good
back
one.
and forth on it a little bit with this other team, but I just just from what I've seen, there hasn't really been any significant holes in their game to where like I would be having any type of red flags. But I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Yes, sir.
And so
Welcome aboard.
I think what they've been doing over the last couple of weeks have been cold, calculated move, on the football field wise, to where they just grinded out games, they make smart decisions, they play at their pace, their way. Joe Burrow is amazing, and I feel like there's too much just kind of going on with this Bills team, to where like, on the defensive side of the ball and, at the quarterback position, which are both big old red flags, for you to lose a game, it's either going to be in the defense or the quarterback position.
Facts.
And there's a few questions going into this game on both. So I have to go with Cincinnati. I think this is going to be one of those games though that was kind of like the Bills and Kansas City game last year.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, so where it's just like
Or even this year.
Yeah, just two quarterbacks just slanging that thing.
Oh,
And
Joe
I
Burrow,
can't
Josh
wait.
Allen, couldn't get much better than
Ooh, I can't wait. I love good quarterback play. And Josh Allen's so fun to watch when he's on.
Absolutely.
And so, I think this is going to be a really, really fun matchup. But, I don't really have any, like, ties bringing me to the Bills side. I just have to go with my gun, and I have to go with the Bengals.
Facts.
Shout out, Joe.
Shout out, Joe. I think that does it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to talk about any of the NBA.
I am
Cool,
disappointed.
that
I'm
gives
sorry,
me
Joe.
We about to throw hands after
that,
this.
All
gives,
right.
that gives me time to study up on some NBA stuff.
Mhm.
I only know about the Pacers right now.
Gavin might be
Places.
back on next week. Who knows?
I might be.
We'll see.
Hey, I'll just be on for every NFL episode until the Super Bowl.
I'm with it.
I'll come in
I think
here
we
and
got
just,
2 or 3. So
Yeah.
I'll come in here and pour my heart out for y'all, since y'all need a little break
Oh,
from calculated things.
I appreciate it.
Mr. Crunching Numbers
So-
over here.
Giants and Cowboys, or excuse me, Giants and Eagles. We have both of you two, Joe and Gavin, making the pick for the Giants. I take the Eagles on that. Cowboys and Niners. You both take the Niners. I take the Cowboys. Head over to the AFC where only Gavin took the Jaguars.
Hey.
Me
Watch
and
something
Joe
crazy
took
happen.
the Chiefs, and then Bengals. Me and Joe took the Bengals, and you took the Bills, which isn't wrong.
Watch something crazy happen.
It's not
Watch something crazy happen, and all of my picks be
I'm
right.
with it. I love sports.
If the Jaguars upset the Chiefs, man,
Ooh,
that'd
that's
be
gonna
impressive.
So funny on
If the
Twitter.
Jaguars
Oh
upset
my
the
gosh.
Chiefs, Kobe's gonna have to retire.
I might at that
He's
point.
gonna have to retire as a football fan.
Good lord.
He's only gonna
Tragic.
be watching the AFL now.
No, he's going to have to like
XFL.
legally become
LFL.
legally become a Jaguars fan. Has to legally.
I wouldn't mind. They got 6
Oh my
years
gosh!
left.
Then I don't have to hear him ever yell "Who dat" again.
Who dat, baby?
He says it, but in reference to
Gross.
Trevor Lawrence.
Facts.
Exactly.
Who is that? I remember once when I was a black and gold fan. Now I'm a teal and gold fan.
Yeah, exactly. Evolution of the game, baby.
Oh, this is a good episode. Shout out Brayden for hopping on.
Yo,
Yeah.
Oh, whatever he's doing over at Sycamore Video.
great things.
Check out them. You know, student media is all big one family. What you get with WZIS, what you get with Sycamore Videos, what you get with the newspapers, what you get with ESPN, what you get with everybody. And you could be a part of it. Call-out meeting this Thursday, January 19th. Dreiser Hall, 3rd floor, room 323, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Bar.
That's it.
Dang! Oh, I'm
outta here.
I was about to ad-lib and everything.
Oh,
It
shoot. Any more last thoughts? Any more last words before we get on out here, boys?
Even
go to
though
work.
even though we're not going in full depth of the NBA stuff,
Next week, I promise there will be NBA content on this podcast.
I will say though,
We'll start with it.
from what I have seen, I got some high hopes for the future of the Pacers, Joe. And I know you're a Pacers fan, so like I got some high hopes for like what they can pull off. They got a strong, good-looking team, some potential superstars on their hands
They're
too.
very handsome.
And
What do you mean by that?
Continue.
but that's just all I got. That's all I know about the NBA. I'll have to do a little bit of research.
We'll
before I
talk
come
more
back.
about it. For
Yeah,
sure.
I'll do
Exactly.
some research before I come back and have some thoughts.
Maybe if we have time this week, we might pull out a
Do a little-
NBA specific Sports Extra
little
Uncut.
little mini pod.
Yeah, a mini uncut.
It's just me ranting about Tyrese Halliburton and Luka Doncic for like
It's only
55
zoomed on
minutes.
Joe's face.
Exactly.
Just
Joe,
Joe.
quit hogging the mic.
Get Luka Doncic some help immediately. This is preposterous. Man.
Blasphemy.
Is Damian Lillard good? I don't know
Exactly.
anymore.
I don't know anymore. Everybody needs help. Everybody sucks. No defense getting played.
LeBron!
TikTok era basketball.
Time out.
LeBron is better than MJ.
That's facts.
Let me
Victor Wembanyama. Sorry,
let me
continue.
step in on this Dame question here, because I just need a little bit of clarity here. Do you mean basketball or rapping?
Both. I guess. Now I'm interested.
Rapping
Dame Dollar.
mid. Basketball.
We'll end it there.
He was good.
Fair,
All right. For Joseph the Lawnmower, appreciate you as always. Gavin the Chef Cook, you have been a thrill on this episode.
Thank you.
Hope to have you back soon. If we do have another episode this week, we will keep you updated through
I'll
Twitter
take some
at
sensitivity
WZIS-FM.
training before I come back.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
a little bit.
Meeting with HR.
I've been the Coby Clark. Everyone take care. Have a
Brush your
great
hair.
rest of your week. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay classy. Peace.
Go Pacers.
Go Pacers.